Go to overcomecompulsivehoarding.co.uk/online therapy to get 20% off your first month of cognitive behavioural therapy, with weekly sessions online with a therapist, in addition to worksheets, a journal, meditation and yoga videos, and unlimited messaging. There's strong evidence that CBT can help people who hoard, and accessing therapy online can be affordable and accessible. Find out more and get your discount at overcomecompulsivehoarding.co.uk/online therapy.
Want flexibility? Take yoga. Want flexibility with your health insurance? Check out United Healthcare Insurance Plans. Underwritten by Golden Rule Insurance Company, they offer flexible, budget-friendly medical, dental, and vision coverage that may be right for you. More at uh1.com.
Think of all the sleep hacks you've ever heard. You could spend years trying them all, or you could instantly transform your sleep with Boll & Branch. They make the softest, most breathable bedding you'll ever feel. And it's all 20% off. That's their best sale of the entire season. Millions of sleepers love their buttery soft sheets, airy blankets, cloud-like duvets, and so much more. And you can try all of them for 20% off with promo code BUTTERY20. So hurry to bollandbranch.com today. That's BOLL and branch.com. See site for details. Say hello to a new era of mental health care. Cerebral is here to help you achieve your mental wellness goals with professional therapy and medication management support. 100% online. You'll experience the all-new Cerebral Way, an innovative approach to mental wellness designed around you. You'll get a personalized treatment plan from a therapist, prescriber, or both in a safe and judgment-free space. Your Cerebral therapist or prescriber will outline a customized plan with clear milestones along the way, so you can get to feeling your best. With Cerebral, you're not alone in your mental health journey. We're here to empower you to live a fulfilling life. So take that first step towards a brighter future and sign up today at Cerebral.com/podcast and use code ACAST to get 15% off your first month. Offer only valid on monthly plans. Other exclusions may apply. Offer ends July 31st, 2024. See site for details.
Welcome to the Overcome Compulsive Hoarding with That Hoarder podcast. I am drowning in stuff and trying to find a way out. Listen as I explore the issues and delve deep as somebody profoundly affected by hoarding disorder. Find out more, including links to subscribe to the podcast, at overcomecompulsivehoarding.co.uk, and follow me on Twitter at That Hoarder and on Facebook at facebook.com/That Hoarder. So, the gas man came. If you've listened to my last couple of episodes, you'll know that I had to let someone in to service the gas boiler, and that this filled me with terror, I think it's fair to say. So, I arranged for him to come yesterday, which, as I record, was a Monday, so that I'd have the weekend to blitz and do as much as I could. And then I came down with labyrinthitis, which is a kind of vertigo thing, so I couldn't even sit up, never mind stand up, never mind blitz a kitchen. So I'd already kind of come to terms with the fact that I was basically just going to make a pathway from the front door to the boiler and back, rather than, ideally, I would have had a situation where I could let him in without embarrassment at all. As it was, there was no way it was going to be anything better than just a pathway and getting the rubbish bags out of the house. And then I couldn't even manage all of that because I was so ill. So I had to just make a pathway and not take any of the rubbish bags that resulted from that clearance out. I just had to pile them up. So the other thing, because I knew that a fair bit of the stuff on the kitchen floor was like tins and packets of food. So I thought, as I was I thought I just was going to put those in a pile or in a series of boxes to deal with later, because I didn't have time to, find homes for everything, because obviously the cupboards are full as well, so finding homes for the stuff that was out would involve sorting out the cupboards, and, it was just going to become a much bigger job than I had the time for. But I thought, as I was putting those tins and packets in boxes, I could check best before dates and that kind of thing. But that went to the wayside as well. I just put things in piles to make space and filled rubbish bags with the really obvious rubbish, and then tied those up and just left them in a corner in quite a mountain. But by the time Monday morning came, it was possible to walk from the front door to the boiler, and it was quite difficult to open the front door because I had a build-up of unopened mail behind it. So on Monday morning, I started dealing with some of that. Again, not doing it properly, not going through everything, but just allocating things either as something that I needed to open and look at, put those in a bag, and stuff that was just junk mail that went straight into a bin bag. So there's less unopened mail behind the front door now. And I was so scared. I was so scared because this person was going to come in and see how I live. And I had CBT last week, and we talked a lot about how I was going to cope with this visit. And she kept trying to get me to say, he'll have seen worse. But I couldn't be confident that he'd have seen worse, because it's pretty bad. But one thing I came up with while I was in the CBT session was that, okay, it could be worse. I could have 75 cats. Nothing against people who have 75 cats. It's not ideal, but you know that. You're dealing with some stuff. Similarly, I'm not the kind of hoarder who feels the need to keep hold of their bodily waste. Some hoarders keep their wee and their poo. And again, I'm not judging those people. It's not something I can relate to at all. But that's not something people do for fun, is it? They've got some stuff going on in their head if that's what they feel the need to do. So I came out of that CBT session thinking, okay, he might not have seen worse, but at least I don't have 75 cats and bottles of wee. And the moment came and the guy arrived, and it felt stupid to even say sorry about the mess, because we're not talking about normal mess. I suspect people say sorry about the mess when they've got a bag on the floor, or, they haven't done the washing up. This is a whole other degree. So I just kind of said something like, I'm sorry about how it is in there, and then let him in, and then I waited outside, and I was just standing there so mortified. And I just kept repeating to myself in my head, like a mantra, at least I don't have 75 cats and bottles of wee. At least I don't have 75 cats and bottles of wee. At least I don't have 75 cats and bottle of wee. And after what seemed like forever, but was probably 10 minutes, the guy came out, and I was waiting for judgment, but he was so kind. He was so nice. He was so nice. He said something like, are you getting any help? And I said, yes. And he said, good, because it can't be nice for you to live like this or something. And I said, yeah, it's horrible, but I've got some support. And then he went, and I was so relieved. I was so relieved it was done. And I was so relieved that although he no doubt did judge me, because anybody would, he was very kind about it. He wasn't critical. And I guess he understood that, like people who store their wee and like people who have 75 cats, I've got stuff going on and I don't do this for fun.
Here's a cool fact. A crocodile can't stick out its tongue. Another cool fact, you can get short-term health insurance for a month or just under a year in some states. United Healthcare short-term insurance plans are designed for people who are between jobs, coming off their parents' plan, or turning a side hustle into a full-time gig. Underwritten by Golden Rule Insurance Company, they offer flexible, budget-friendly coverage with access to a nationwide network of doctors and hospitals. Get more cool facts about United Healthcare short-term plans at uh1.com.
Since 2013, Bombas has donated over 100 million socks, underwear, and T-shirts to those facing homelessness. If we counted those on air, this ad would last over 1,157 days. But if we counted the time it takes to make a donation possible, it would take just a few clicks. Because every time you make a purchase, Bombas donates an item to someone who needs it.
Go to bombas.com/ACAST and use code ACAST for 20% off your first purchase. That's bombas.com/ACAST, code ACAST.
In just 1 second, I'll give you my top tip of the week. In the meantime, please do subscribe to the podcast, review it, 5 stars would be amazing, and share it with your friends or anyone who might be interested or who might benefit from it. It all really helps. To find out more ways to support the website, the podcast, and my overall de-hoarding project, go to overcomecompulsivehoarding.co.uk/support. Now, back to your top tip. Okay, top tip time. If you get the compulsion to buy things or to acquire things, it's obviously best not to, especially while you're in the process of trying to de-hoard. But if you really, really, really want to buy something, I've found a few ways to work around that. One is to buy something that takes up virtually no space. So I sometimes buy earrings, or I buy stickers. You can get some really cute, hand-drawn, nicely designed stickers from places like Etsy and Redbubble. So I'll get some nice stickers or some nice earrings. The other thing, if it's books, which a lot of us I know are really susceptible to buying books, buy Kindle books instead. You don't even need a physical Kindle. You can read them on your phone or your tablet or your computer. I have bought a Kindle and it's great. It's so much easier on your eyes, I find, than reading on my phone. But you absolutely don't need one in order to read Kindle books. And that way, when I get the urge to buy a book, first of all, I can get it instantaneously, which is brilliant. But secondly, it doesn't take up any space at all. Okay, thank you for listening. Thank you for listening to the Overcome Compulsive Hoarding podcast. You can find more online at overcomecompulsivehoarding.co.uk. You can find me on Twitter at @thathoarder and on Facebook at Overcome Compulsive Hoarding with That Hoarder. To find out more about how you can support this podcast and the overall project, go to overcomecompulsivehoarding.co.uk/support. And do subscribe to this podcast so you make sure you don't miss any future episodes.